Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about vascular anomalies. So in the vascular anomalies, first in this chapter we are going to learn about, first we will have developmental anomalies or Berry aneurysms. So these Berry aneurysms are present mainly in the circle of Willis. Even in the circle of Willis, this mainly involves the anterior cerebral artery. These aneurysms might rupture, and these are actually potential sites of hemorrhage. If the hemorrhage occurs in the brain, it can cause intracerebral bleeding or intracerebral hemorrhage, which we will learn in CNS. Then second developmental anomaly is a arteriovenous fistulas. These arteriovenous fistulas are the direct connections between the arteries and the veins. Actually, arteries and veins are only connected by the capillaries. But if there is some aberrant connection between the arteries and the veins, that is called as arteriovenous fistulas. These arteriovenous fistulas are the most common developmental defects in vascular system, and this arteriovenous fistulas can also occur due to the rupture of aneurysm into the direct veins. I will show you the picture. I will draw a picture. See, this is the aneurysm which is present, and this is the vein which is present beside it. If this aneurysm ruptures, sometimes when it ruptures, this can rupture into the adjacent vein and form an venous connection, that is AV fistulas can form like this also. Sometimes we doctors will generate some connections. We will take the artery, we will select an artery and vein in our body, and we will generate or we will connect these both, resulting in formation of AV fistulas surgically. This is mainly done for the chronic dialysis. For chronic dialysis, we generate, for chronic hemodialysis in a chronic liver failure or acute liver failure patients, we will surgically create the arteriovenous fistulas. Okay, next, these arteriovenous fistulas can also rupture, and if these arteriovenous fistulas rupture, these will also cause hemorrhage into the surrounding structures. And if there are large and multiple arteriovenous fistulas, these will cause shunting of blood from the arterial side to the venular side, and thus they will force the heart to pump additional volume, because all the blood, see, from the heart has given to the arteries, okay, and these arteries have to go to all parts of the body, and they will have to return back through the veins into the heart back again. But if this have to through the veins, it goes back to the heart again. Now if there is some issue, and instead of going to this part of the body, it will, instead of blood reaching this from through the arteries to a whole body, if most of the blood goes through the aneurysm, through these AV fistulas into back to the heart, so now heart has to pump the larger amount of blood in the same limited volume of time. So this will result in high cardiac load on the heart, and at the end it can result in high output cardiac failure. Okay, so these are important points about arteriovenous fistulas. Then the next developmental anomaly include, we have fibromuscular dysplasia. This fibromuscular dysplasia, it is a focal irregular thickening of large and medium sized vessels. So here there is irregular thickening which is present in the large and medium sized vessels. So this can occur in renal or carotid vessels, or it can occur in splanchnic vessels, that is in the intestine, and it can also occur in vertebral vessels also. The cause of these fibromuscular dysplasias is unknown, but these are actually suspected if there is history of one in first degree relatives. If one of the first degree relatives are affected with fibromuscular dysplasia, then we can think of it. In this fibromuscular dysplasia, if this is the vessel, segments of the vessel are affected, not the complete vessel. If you take this segment of the vessel, there is muscular hyperplasia, medial and intimal hyperplasia is mainly seen. Here mainly the medial and intimal hyperplasia is seen, and this also, along with hyperplasia, there is fibrosis, and due to this leads to the stenosis of blood vessels. So here you will see stenosis. So all these are seen only in the segmental areas. So because these are seen in segmental areas, because of fibrosis, the lumen of those areas will decrease. Thus it looks something like this. So this is the beaded appearance which you see especially in the angiography. In the angiography, you will see this fibromuscular dysplasia has strings of beads. Sometimes these beaded structures can also result in formation of big aneurysms. So this can progress to formation of aneurysms. So these fibromuscular dysplasias are frequently seen in young women. They can occur in any age, but these are seen in young women. There is no association with oral contraceptive pills or estrogen exposure. So this is about fibromuscular dysplasia. Thank you for watching.